and welcome to Monte Carlo to Marlow. This podcast is sponsored by the Marlow Living Loyalty app. So welcome to Monte Carlo to Marlow. We're actually in Marlow today. So talk to me about how you got into cooking.
I got into cooking. I grew up in Sussex. My granddad was a dairy farmer in Hampshire. So I was always around sort of like homegrown produce, going up to the cows, milking, etc. When we went to my grandparents' house. Where I grew up, we had a couple of good hotels at the time. It was the Spread Eagle in Midhurst and Angel Hotel in Midhurst. My first job was at 13 when you could work when you were young back then. Yeah. So I went straight into the kitchens there. It was always a top 10% hotel. Loved it. Loved the kitchen life. Like
13 though, was your mum cooking at home? And like 13's really young.
My mum kind of cooked, but no, it was more of one of those things of I liked food. I liked growing food and bits and pieces like that. We did a bit of that at home, but it was more when you go into the kitchen and see what's going on, how they're doing things, and that's sort of what inspired you to try it.
Okay.
So even though we were washing up, we were still peeling. Back then, it was a lot different in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was a lot more testosterone fueled, let's just say.
Yeah.
But watching what they did and how they made all the little tartlets for pets and fours, or making the breads and the foie gras terrines back then and everything else, it was brilliant to watch. And I loved it. We'd end up making lemon tarts, we'd end up doing desserts, we'd help make the breads, we'd peel lots of onions. Like, I kind of fell in love with that. And then as soon as I finished school at 16, I did my apprenticeship.
You knew what you wanted to do.
It was good fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I went to college. It was 1 day a week. So I did a MVQ2 back then. But I was working under a Michelin-starred chef called Steve Crane. And he went on to win 3 rosettes. It was a Red Star at Ockenden and stuff like that.
At that age, so it's so young.
Yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it, to have that opportunity?
I think it's how you fall into it. So when looking back, it was really good because it was brutal. It was, everything was methodical. It had to be like this. You had to season it like this. And you kind of went with it because you didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I think if you go into, say, a lesser place at the time, you may not have got the skills and the techniques that you...
Yeah, you were learning straight from the top, really.
So when you went to college, when you're supposed to learn there, we already surpassed most of that. So we were saying to our lecturer, but why are you doing this? Because this isn't what we're doing in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that was 3 rosettes at the time, so we were like,
I know what I'm doing, thanks. Yeah.
Not so much that, but we'd always question it and they hated us. It was me and one of my best friends. He was on pastry. He was running that at like a really young age, really, really good chef. And sort of the basis that you learned there. And then the chef would always say, don't go to some random place. Go look in the guides, go do stages at these other good places around the area. So that's what we did.
Yeah. So you had a really good plan from early on. Yeah.
It was the basis of working the best you can if you can. So I did quite a lot of time there. I was a bit burnt out, to be honest with you. Didn't really go out. We were working, go to college.
It's hours though, isn't it? I mean, what kind of time were you getting in and coming home?
Late.
Yeah.
I think we were probably doing an average of about 80 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
For no money.
Yeah.
£1,295 a year I started off.
But you loved it.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, you form like a family. And some of those people you still speak with now.
And was there an area in the kitchen? You talk about pastry a lot.
I am not a pastry chef. I love plating pastry. I love eating pastry. I like playing with the flavors in pastry. But pastry chefs are their own breed.
My granddad was a patisserie chef.
Yeah. So it's very like the.
And had to write everything in French.
Yeah. The science in pastry is totally different to our main kitchen.
You can't experiment as much.
You can, but you still have to be within the sort of boundaries of that recipe.
Yeah.
So you're still, if you do a choux bun, you're still doing a choux bun regardless of how you change it, right?
Yeah.
But in the main kitchen, it's a lot more freedom to sort of experiment, add things in if you want to try. But you only get to do that a lot further down the line in your comedy, demi, CDP. You follow. So you were
learning on the job, and you were inspired by pretty much top of the range. So
obviously Marco was the big name, Ramsey was the big name, Nico. My chefs were all from Nico's line, so they come out.
I remember going to Harvey's.
That was Marco, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I would have afforded it then, but well, obviously the prices weren't quite as crazy, but it
It's
was a
still
treat.
expensive for what it was.
But I remember being really a foodie and wanting to go and going there and sitting in this sort of just not such a fancy room, really, quite a small place, but there was just something really special about it.
Marco's a legend. What he did for the industry to sort of show it as it was, then there was those TV documentaries, Take Six Chefs, and then Cook with Marco. I used to watch that all the time and be like, wow, because at the time that was like,
Well, that was kind of like when chefing became like rock and roll, wasn't it?
you had Keith Floyd doing it before.
Yeah,
He was sort of like your first, in quote, celebrity chef.
yeah.
But obviously Marco showed the way before it was a thing. And then obviously you had like Ramsey, who's amazing. I
Hmm.
got a chance to go up and work in Claridge's with Sarge was the head chef. And to see all of that was amazing, like learning new things.
Danesfield House, how long have you been here?
A year and a half now.
And what brought you here?
The history of the place,
Yeah, it's an amazing
it's a
building, isn't
beautiful
it?
building and it's got a lot of potential. We're just trying to develop everything and bring it back to a standard, which we have done.
Yeah.
We won a couple of awards, which is good, but there's always so much further you can go with it. But I'd say we're multi-outlet because we have different restaurants, we have a lot of different functions, a lot of different scope of what our leisure clients want, plus what our corporate clients want. We've just installed loads of big green eggs, so we do a lot of like
Oh, right. Yeah,
barbecue
you've got
cooking.
barbecue
Yeah,
season coming.
yeah, that and weddings. I do a lot of weddings. Here, you have to be on the ball with a lot of different things, juggle a lot, spin a lot of plates.
And where'd you get your inspiration to do the really special menus and the
When we
fine
get to
dining?
do those ones, I don't use the term fine dining much. It's
It's just eating.
just
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah.
I look around, try and look at the produce, look at what we're doing. Here's very different to where I've worked previously because you'll try things, but the locals may not like it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying before, the difference
Yeah.
of working somewhere like Marlow, which is a really foodie place actually, but the difference between being in London and Marlow, what do you think of those
You
kind of
can be a lot
differences?
more experimental inside of London because
People a bit more open to it?
they're a lot more
Yeah.
open-minded to flavor combinations or just in general different ways of curing fish or cooking or
Yeah.
whatever.
In fact, they're expecting it, aren't they?
It has to,
London is such a capital, isn't it?
it's
It's
leading.
amazing food.
Yeah, you sometimes really have to think what the customer guest will want.
Yeah.
So you can't just go, oh, I'm going to do this because it worked there, because here it doesn't. Like, I thought game would be massive here. So
Yeah.
last year we put loads of birds on everything. It didn't sell. So I was really shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay. But I mean, where we're situated, a lot of people may come and then go into town because you've got Tom's free restaurants. So if
Yeah.
they want the high end, they go to the Hand. You know, if they want small plates but really good, they go to the Coach, right?
Yeah.
Plus there's all the chain restaurants.
So where do you kind of fit in within that? Because obviously, as you say, there's the Michelin star here, and we've got so many restaurants in Marlow and Henley, I guess.
And Henley. Yeah.
Where do you kind of see yourself?
I like to say we're kind of affordable luxury, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to spend the money and go to the best places, obviously you've got Calworth Park, Clifton, you've got Tom.
Really spoiled round here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very not far as Bray. So you've got
Yeah.
the Waterside, the Fat Duck, etc., etc. There's so many good restaurants.
Yeah.
So we have to think we're not going to be at that level. We
Yeah.
have to do very good food because our guests are still discerning. So we have to have good produce, which we source the best that we can.
Do you use local? Do you try and?
I use
Yeah.
local bits like Marlow cheese is literally 5 minutes away. So
Yeah.
we use those. I use Vickers Game, who are in Newbury. So it's
Okay.
not too far.
Yeah.
It's about 40 minutes drive, 45 minutes drive. So just because it's local doesn't mean it's the best. We try to source the best that we can. So we do that and then just try and do things tasty, simply, and it still looks elegant because it has to match.
Yeah. And you've started to do some collaborations with other chefs.
Yeah, well, I've got a few friends and stuff. So it's good fun. It's good to try and give people of the area a different taste also.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Luckily here, I know some of the other hotels like Calworth will do it,
Hmm.
but that's all like super high end, right? So we get people that we know. We did one with Amber. That was really good. Obviously, she just won GBM, so that was nice. I've got my friend who I work with in London, Paul, on our next one.
Okay.
Paul Weldburn.
Yeah.
He's, amazing chef, Michelin-star chef. Really, really.
And I guess that really helps you get a little bit of inspiration from somewhere else as well.
It's not just inspiration. It's good for the team to
Yeah.
see other styles
Yeah.
too. And if this was in a Michelin-star restaurant, then they can kind of go, oh, wow. So there's not too dissimilar. Do you know what I mean? So you can always pick things from it.
Yeah.
So it is good fun to do it. And, the whole vibe and buzz when somebody else is in, and we always go out and introduce every dish.
Right.
So it is good.
Yeah, I came to in fact, I think it might have been the first one that you did, the tasting menu.
Oh, in the gallery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really nice you coming out actually and talking us through the dishes. It was absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
It was amazing. Yeah. Have you got any other special nights coming up or events?
I've got the pool one in a week, and we've got Stephen Edwards in October from Etch in Brighton. He's coming. And that's it for now. So then we go into silly season of Christmas. And next year, we don't know. I mean, we did try the whole tasting menu and the oat crown. We had very, very good feedback. But the problem is not everybody wants to come out and have 7 courses.
We eat really differently now, don't we?
We do.
Do you think it was a COVID thing from people just eating at home so much? Do you think that changed?
I think it's totally changed to comfort.
Yeah.
So people only eat what they know.
Okay.
My opinion, I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
But the way that I've seen it, if you put chicken cod on, they're going to eat it.
They want it.
If you try like ossobuco or something, they generally don't want it. You have a few adventurous people.
So you're in a hotel after all, so people are not always here for the food. They want to eat well, but they're not necessarily here.
They're not here for the food.
We're
not.
Which is a challenge.
Yeah, we're not a named restaurant. We do nice food. We do good food. And I think it's a good price.
In beautiful surroundings.
Yeah. We're just trying to be very good at what we are. Yeah. There's no point in trying to sort of pretend that you're something that you're not. So that's why we do just good food. When people come, generally speaking, they go home happy.
Yeah.
You never please everybody.
You can't do that. Which countries do you get inspired by at the moment? What kind of foods are you looking at that you love?
I don't know. I just look at what we do in this country. I look at Simon Rogan because what he does is amazing. The way he's set it up, his farm, everything like that. But a lot of them have now followed suit. Yeah. So more Hall, Mark, again, fantastic.
Do you think Raymond Blanc was one of the people that kind of set the standard for that, with having the food grown on site?
But a lot of hotels, yes. Yeah. But a lot of hotels used to have your own veg patches and herb gardens and stuff beforehand. So I'm from the country, so that was that was just normal for you. You'd get your quinces, you'd get your pears, you'd get your apples, you'd use it, cherry trees, whatever. You kind of use. I just picked cherries from down the road, sour cherries that I've boiled into a syrup and a compote at home. Yeah, all of that, even when
which feels so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, even when you go onto like the hedgerows. Yeah. Ronan berries, blackberries.
Do you forage when you get the chance?
I used to do it a lot. It's great fun.
Yeah.
But again, it's lost on a lot of people. Yeah. We try. Here, we don't really have any of that. It's more of a beautiful grounds for walking rather than growing. I'd love to get polytons.
I was going to say, wouldn't you love to be growing some things?
I would, but then again, it's a massive expense. I grow all of my micro herbs. So I have an Evo grow system in the kitchen. So they're a lot fresher, a lot more tasty. So we do grow that. If we have bits and pieces, the gardeners will tell me that we have chickweed, then we can go and get that and roast that. So we do try to utilise bits.
What would you say, just to wrap up, for somebody that wants to get into cooking or in a kitchen? What do you think? You've said that you felt like your best route in was actually just going straight into a kitchen rather than college. Do you have advice for anybody that wants to get into what you're doing? I would say look if people are doing apprenticeships, because I think that's a great way in, because you're learning and getting paid at the same time, rather than just going to college, because you're gonna learn. But a lot of people that do come out of college, then when you go into a kitchen, they don't like it and they leave. So you kind of wasted those 2 years. At least if you're doing an apprenticeship, you're doing the... You know what you're getting yourself into. You know what you're getting yourself into. Plus then you're getting your sort of MVQ standard of what you need to learn from that, but you're also learning what is actually going on in the kitchens now, or how food trends are now. Yeah, I was going to say just about food trends. We kind of discussed what you can and can't do here, really. What food trends do you think have got legs? Honestly, it's the small plates thing's always good. More informal, sort of alfresco-y food. It's always grazing boards, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. Everyone likes that. Yeah. So I look at what my partner likes to eat and have a bit think from there. Do you cook at home? I do a bit. She cooks better home food than me. No, so her one pots are amazing. Oh, one pot. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, well, thanks so much, Matt, for chatting today. It's been really good to speak to you.